Let's start with our opening prayer and then off we go. O Great Spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives and we thank you for these good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended and our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen, Namaste. Okay, let me get our cards out. Whoop. Okay. Let's see what they have for us today. Just so you guys know, you can pop your questions straight underneath the video and they will show up. Hi everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so the card that we have today is Sweeping Sister Willow. Okay, in creating precious silks, there is a sorting process, a sifting out that which is broken to find that which is precious and pure. You're commencing a new cycle, beloved, and it's time to allow for that which is more precious and pure, that which you wish to take with you into the future, to continue and to release that which does not align to your truest heart. Sometimes we need to help ourselves access the new cycle by releasing vows from this or other lifetimes, releasing old emotional patterns, and calling in wisdom and talents from past lifetimes. You're guided to accept this healing now. Your past is calling to you. It is calling to be cleared, to be released, and for the beauty and power of the past to be claimed in the present moment, woven together like a precious rare silk. All the experiences, mistakes, adventures, and successes of your past in this and other lifetimes have given your soul plenty of material from which to draw its wisdom. Like fine silk threads being woven into beautiful fabric, it has to grow in awareness, light, capacity, and in love in order to be where it is now. You're being guided by Kuan Yin now to realize that your past is nothing to be ashamed of. Even the worst mistakes that you may have judged yourself or others for have been opportunities to really grow in love. Formed without the rough layers of the cocoon within which the pure thread is spun by the silkworm. So you too have been able to weave something truly beautiful within the experiences of your life, even those you no longer need to carry with you as memories or scars. There comes a time to extract the pure thread and cast aside that which is unusable. You are at a point, beloved, that you must choose to empty out the old emotional baggage and take forward with you the gifts, skills, wisdom, and talents that you've developed throughout many lifetimes, so that you can move into a new cycle that's calling you forward. Sometimes it can be very unfamiliar and cause us some anxiety as we do not have the old emotional or behavioral patterns to hold on to as we go through life. Yet there is no need to be fearful of this process, because as you release the old, a beautiful new patterning will be emerging from within you. You will have new emotions, new ways of being available to you, born of your past experiences but not limited by them. You will feel lighter in this process and more able to be your divine self in all parts of your life. Okay, so we're just going to close our eyes and we're going to invite the angels to come into our heart space. And just imagine a beautiful, soft silver light deep at the core of your being. And I want you to travel within your heart and within your sense of movement, of all the different spinning threads of all your lifetimes, all your destinies, all your choices. Some are rough and broken, yet they hold a barrier in place, so that within, great silk threads of pure light can be woven in an endless stream. Feel the preciousness and wonder of these threads. They are the meridians of your soul being spun in your heart. I want you to allow yourself to journey along these threads of light, where you eventually have many lights and colors representing all the lifetimes and situations that you've encountered through your past and in this lifetime and beyond. You become aware of your guides and your angels and Creator, catching all the threads of your soul and extracting them out of the rough cocoon, weaving them into an exquisite silk. You say out loud, through the grace of Creator and the angels and my own free will, I now unconditionally forgive and release the pain, shame, and blame that is holding me in past energies and preventing me from living my potential. I release this wholly and completely now through all time and space and all dimensions of my being. Just take a minute to send love to your angels and Creator, and allow their divine fingers to weave your soul light into beautiful expression. And then say aloud, I now choose to claim all past life talents, gifts, and skills that are based on into unconditional love in my present lifetimes. I ask for this by the grace and compassion of Creator and of my own free will and unconditional love and divine mercy. When you're ready, feel the lightness in your heart as your cocoon is being transformed into the most exquisite silk garment of light. Just breathe, and allow all vows, oaths, and agreements to be completed across all levels, times, and dimensions. So that was card number 31 from the Kuan Yin Oracle. Okay, if you guys are after that meditation later on, let's see what's coming up. Boom, 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 boom. Hi, Ingrida. Hi, Terry. Hi, Mattis. Hi, Ingrida. Hi, Christina. Okay, let's do one at a time. So our first question is from Terry. She's saying, hi, Sky, thank you. May I have a message from my spirit guides? I would love some guidance. Yep. Meet you into Terry. So I'm really getting, like, the moment I'm tuning into your spirit guides, I'm really getting that you've been making changes, and they're really proud of you. They're kind of surrounding you and kind of cheering you on. I think you have a fear of whether or not you're going to be able to keep it up, or whether the changes are like temporary. And they're saying, just keep the faith and practice believing in yourself. See the old you as temporary and the new you as who you really are. There we go. Okay, that's looking good. Successful me saying, hey Sky, can I ask for a reading? Thank you. Mary, let's see what comes up in the cards this time. Tune into Mary, angels. So it feels like it's something around your love life. It's really coming up super strong. I get this feeling of it's just not working, and not necessarily a relationship, but like dating energy. So let's see what okay. And then the message I'm getting is that it's okay to admit that it's not working. It's okay to have that conversation. It's okay for it not to be working. It's okay to start from scratch. It's okay to throw out your old rules and make new ones, right? It's actually better to acknowledge when something isn't working than to waste more and more time and energy on it. I'm going to bring in the romance angels to help you find the courage to make the changes you're being guided to make. Okay, next one. Matt is saying, hi, dear Sky. Lately, I'm feeling like I'm dreaming too big, and sometimes I feel like I'm dreaming too small. Can you tell me which one is true? Thank you for everything you do. Much love. Okay, Mattis, when I'm tuning into you and your angels, I get that you're dreaming too small. And I think that okay, so the angels are showing me you're confusing your divine guidance for your dreams. So when you have a huge dream, God gives that to you because not only can you fulfill it, but because it's part of your destiny. Okay. The little dreams are like the stepping stones to the big dream. And it doesn't always make sense to us when we're moving on God's guidance or God's faith how something is going to lead to the next bit. Okay. For example, let's say God gives you guidance to do the Mind Body Spirit Festival. You may not understand that, like, you don't know who you're going to meet there, you don't know what connections you're going to make, you don't know what events you're going to get invited to, you know, you don't, it's that energy of the unknown. So when you have a big dream, that to get to the big dream, there's a lot of little steps, right, that you have to take along the way. So let's take a moment to just release the fear of being out of control and of not knowing how it's going to come. Okay. Ingrid saying, can you check my energy? I feel like I'm going through an upgrade. Any insights on this, please? Thank you. So immediately when I'm tuning into, I'm seeing Archangel Ariel and I'm seeing the energy of the full moon that just passed. So you very much are going through an energetic upgrade. They're clearing things out of your solar plexus and out of your heart chakra. And it's almost like you're very tired and weary, and all that energy is what they're trying to pull off you so that you can actually get excited about your future and get excited about life again instead of coming from that energy of exhaustion. So can we pull that off? Oh, there we go. Okay. Christine is saying, hey Sky, what do I need to shift, or what does benefit my business so I have a stable financial income? I realized I was in survival mode my whole life. The least money to live off of was normal. So this is about, this isn't, okay, so first things first, whenever you have a business or whenever you have a project, or energetically clear it first. So if you've been creating from a place of survival, let's just take a minute to call on Archangel Shamuel to energetically vacuum the business so that you're no longer in survival mode. Okay, that's looking a lot better. Okay, and then the next bit is looking at the places where you don't feel your gifts have any value. Okay, so for you to get to a place where you're struggling to bring in abundance, it's because you don't feel like your gifts have any worth. So you want to go to the traumas in your childhood and in your adolescence where you were taught by your caregivers, by your teachers, that your gifts didn't have any value. And because what that trauma does is make you feel like a fraud when you're talking about your gifts, whether it's your psychic gifts or your spiritual gifts or your writing or your art or your music or your singing or your academic gifts. If you were taught that you were selfish or not real, or that they had no worth or value, that only your grades had value, or only your your work only had value if your teacher said it did, or if your mother and father said it did. Then you'll be constantly looking for outside validation. And that might be how the school system works, but it's not how business works. In business, your clients are looking at you to decide how much your work is worth. So if you're walking in there and you're thinking this is worthless, but maybe somebody will see something in it that I don't see, right? Maybe they'll love it, even though I don't really like it. On a deep unconscious level, if you're not proud of your work, if you're not proud of your programs, if you don't understand the level of transformation that you offer, right? Then you will communicate that. Even if it's not in your words, it'll be in your tone of voice, it'll be in your body language. So let's just take a minute to call on the angels to start pulling out all of these traumas. Stopping you from reaching your full potential. Stopping you from being visible in your business, stopping you from promoting your work. Okay, that's looking a bit better. Okay, Granilla is saying, hi Sky, can I have reading advice from my angels? Thank you. See what the card that comes up is. Whoop, jumping cards. Okay, card number 25, Sacred River. That's card number 25, for those of you that are from the Kuan Yin Oracle card deck. Let's see what it's saying. So, the sacred river eternally flows and changes. Just as the river flows and changes course, you too are evolving in your life path. Veils and sheaths that once covered your soul light are being washed away, cleansed by sacred water, specifically indicating that your emotional life and your life direction are being purified and healed. Changes in the flow of energy within you and in the momentum of your life path unfolding are imminent. This is exciting. You are growing and changing, and soon your life circumstances will reflect the inner evolution. The sacred river in which Creator delights is always spontaneously changing course, flowing and growing. You, like the sacred river, are changing too. Your life direction is going through subtle realignments or even in the midst of far more obvious changes. You're encouraged to trust the natural unfoldment of this process and to allow it to work its way through you and your life. The detox may occur through emotions that surface, inexplicable pains or aches in the body, feelings of tiredness for no reason, and the need to rest or the urge to meditate more, do healing, go for a swim in the ocean, attend yoga class, or even change the way you're eating and sleeping. These are natural intuitive impulses that confirm your soul is going through a cleansing process as it brings more of its purity into expression in the physical plane. Kuan Yin speaks as the soul of the sacred river and guides you to be kind to yourself during these changes and to honor your inner guidance as your own inner light grows stronger now. Trust the flowing changes of the sacred river through your life. You may observe that people are even more attracted to your light during such a time and the period following this shift in your light quotient. You're holding more light in your being, and without the old veils covering your inner light, your soul is able to shine through matter stronger than before. Some people will be attracted to these changes in you, and your relationships will grow and improve. There might be some that are fearful of the changes. Keep firm boundaries that you're loving, and don't worry about any extra attention you will receive. Your light is not just growing brighter, it's growing stronger too, and you'll be ready to handle any situation that comes to you with joy, grace, and effectiveness. Be kind and patient, stay true to yourself, and trust that your spiritual growth serves all. Imagine that you're standing near a beautiful river composed of light and sound. It shimmers with love, peace, and beauty. You step into it and allow the rainbows of light to surround and wash through you, cleansing you inside and out. The water is clean and pure, filled with ancient power and majesty. As you step out of the water, you notice that you're now clothed in a fresh robe of silk in whatever color feels right for you. When you are ready, open your eyes. So it's a mix of going with the flow, but also trusting that your divine guidance is correct. To really, it's like the river needs to be contained, to really know that it's flowing exactly the way that it needs to be flowing, and to not be afraid of visualizing stepping into the divine river and allowing it to give you the love and the nurturing that you've been wanting so badly for so long. Just allowing yourself to receive properly now. Christina saying, I'm tired and I'm changing the pattern. I'm ready for divine support being provided for me and of service. Thank you. So, okay, Christina, it's an illusion that you're ready for it and it's not there. The truth is that everything exists. So when you understand the universe and you understand the laws, right? You understand that everything is available to you all the time, 24 hours a day, 365 days a week. So the wealth is available, the love is available, the friendships are available, the good things are available. You don't receive them because you can't see them. It's kind of like red car syndrome. Until you buy a red car, you can't see all the red cars. Until you get the new iPhone, you can't see everybody else that has the new iPhone, because your unconscious mind is hardwired to see things that it believes are real, or that it exists. It's kind of like you don't see any other millionaires until you become a millionaire, or you go to like a wealth conference and then suddenly they're everywhere, right? So when people are like, I'm ready for the support, why is it not here? Let's just let the angels and God dissolve the defensiveness. The support is there, but it may not be there in the people that you are hanging out with. It may not be there in the life drama that you are choosing, right? So sometimes what it requires is the falling away of the control. You have to let go of control. Okay, and you really have to let go of, I am doing it by myself. If I do enough inner work, then I can make this happen. It's bullshit. I'm going to say that again. It's bullshit. God makes everything happen. Not your inner work, not your clearing. God makes everything happen. Just take a minute and let God in. Just breathe, step into that river and step into that divine river flow. Let God in to every area of your life. Trust me, every successful person on the planet has their traumas. Okay? Your good is not dependent on you being perfect. It's not dependent on all the healing that you do. Your good is available to you right now. All you have to do is open your hands and open your heart and open your life and receive. That's all you have to do. There we go. Let go of the belief that you have to earn it, that you have to make it happen. Okay, that's beautiful. That's moving. Leha's saying, hi, Sky. When will you meet my compatible partner and how can I get out of my lethargic energy? Thank you so much. So lethargic energy, I'm immediately hearing like self-care, self-care, self-care. So they're really showing me sunshine every day, exercise every day, really good food. There's something going on with your blood sugar. I think that you're responding to sugar in some way that's making you really depressed and really angry. So stay away from all kinds of processed sugar, and it's going to stabilize your energy in an insane way. They're also showing me like remineralizing your body with things like shellac, with things like fulvic minerals, giving yourself a chance to really glow from the inside. But the message is really strong. Prioritize your health, prioritize your health, prioritize your health, prioritize your health. And from the amount of prioritize your health, I have, when I asked where is she going to meet her compatible divine life partner, you're going to meet him in a gym or you're going to meet him outside. This is a very sporty, healthy person. You might even meet him in a Whole Foods. There's an energy of this is a person that very much takes care of their body and very much takes care of themselves. And that's very important for you because your background is people that neglect themselves and don't take care of themselves. Okay, so we're going to bring in the romance angels to help you take better care of yourself and to trust that the two things are connected. Okay, the two things are very connected, because if you're lethargic and energyless and sluggish and blech, then you don't feel sexy, you don't feel attractive, you don't feel desirable, you don't look at people when you walk into the park or the store or the gym. You keep your head down and you keep yourself to yourself. So energy is everything. It's especially when it comes to attracting in a romantic partner. Okay, and that's without even getting into the whole reproduction thing. Okay, Janice is saying, good morning, Sky. May I have a message about my health? A healer today told me I have stagnant blood after looking under my tongue. Okay, so immediately they're taking me to your liver and they're showing me things like dandelion, burdock, quebrapedra. They're really showing me, like, bringing in this really powerful yellow light to clear out your solar plexus chakra. Okay, there we go. Adriana saying, hello, beautiful soul. I'm so thankful for these readings. I've been diagnosed with PCOS and feeling quite emotional today. Can the angels please offer me some guidance? I'm not keen on taking birth control to regulate it, and there is not much support offered by the GP. Thank you. Okay, my love, let's just start by sending you lots of unconditional love. I'm going to call on Archangel Raphael. And we're going to ask for an instant healing on your womb, on your ovaries, on your endocrine system. And we're going to ask for a healing on your divine masculine energy. So there's like there's a pattern in your family of very dominant, aggressive, masculine behavior. And this is what's being mirrored in the emotions, with the male hormones becoming stronger than the female ones. It's this energy of not being allowed to be in your feminine, not being allowed to rest, not being honored, not being allowed to switch off. So let's take a minute and balance and heal your masculine energy, so that we can in turn balance your hormones and your endocrine system. Ooh. So this is a huge, like, this is why we go through every organ system inside Medical Intuitive Mastermind, in particular the male and female emotions. So your female hormones represent your relationship with your feminine, so your estrogen, your progesterone, um, um, your masculine energies represent your relationship with your masculine hormones, so your testosterone, your cortisol, etc. So they in turn, their relationship inside your body is the relationship between the men and the women in your and the caregivers in your life. So when you address those two, they start to balance out. They start to release. Now, hormones in themselves are the communication, which is why it's the relationship between the two. So how did the masculine and the feminine communicate? Was there communication? Was the communication blocked? Did the men stop women from communicating, or did the women stop the men from communicating? And then the body shows you the family systems and the relationship systems that you could not express yourself, right? That maybe you weren't able to voice yourself, but that was survival. That's how it worked. So let's take a minute to release your body from showing you the things that you were afraid to face inside your family system. This is why we also have a whole section on family constellations inside Medical Intuitive. Whoa. Okay. And I'm also feeling like I'm feeling your throat. I'm feeling this like these tears in your throat, like frog stuck in your throat. So can we just bring in blue light to start clearing out your truth? So you're confusing what happened to you as the truth and what is available to you. Okay? What happens to us, it does not define what is available to us. You're not your past unless you live there. Okay? It doesn't make what happened to you any less true. But the fact that your future can be better than your past is not you betraying yourself. It's you releasing yourself. There we go. Whew. Okay, it's looking a lot better. For those of you that are interested, like you really want to know how to heal your body and how to heal other people's bodies, we're starting Medical Intuitive Mastermind in October. So if you want to have a chat, drop me a DM or on Instagram or on Facebook, and we'll get you in for a free call and we'll see if you want to use the course for self-healing or if you want to use the course for healing others. It provides an insane level of support, both for activating your gifts as a medical intuitive, but also for resolving these issues. Because this past year, we added all the healing protocols with the herbs and the beliefs for every single illness, not just the videos and the modules with the guided meditations, but but an actual big protocol book with over 300 diseases as well, plus the WhatsApp group, plus lowered price sessions, plus the Facebook group. So and plus the weekly Q&A with me where you can ask personalized questions. So this is the most valuable, cheapest, most amazing way to work with me if you want to do it, right? It's the most accessible way to work with me if you want to do it. And it's one of those all rounders. It hits on every single level that to support you in your health journey, but also to support you in activating your divine life purpose. Hi, Sky. Can you please tell me what's coming towards me in love and when will I settle down and start my own family? Thank you. Oh, so I can't, it just overtook me. It just overtook me. It just went, like your romance angels, like there's this wave that kind of washed over me of humor, and I could just hear the words raise your standards. Raise your standards. So you're choosing men that can't provide. You're choosing men that in their building season, like they're still making their own fortunes and their own empires and their own income. They're not ready to settle down. You're choosing men who are at the wrong season of their life. If you want to settle down with the partner, you have to look for your soulmate, um certain qualities, right? Is he is he a family man? Is he a provider, right? Not just is he making money, but does he spend that money on me, on the children, on the is he able to emotionally regulate himself? How does he treat other people, right? Staff and family members and friendships. You have to look at their family because that's going to be the genetics of your future offspring. Okay, so it's this energy of stop dating guys that are kind of like exploring the world and traveling and maybe like on their first or second job and they don't really have any direction in life. There's a real energy from the angels of like, if you really want this, then you have to level up. And then they're also saying that you also have to clear your fears, because they're showing me deep fears of being trapped, of like marriage being really like somehow limiting you or holding you back instead of being a secure platform from which you can shine. So anybody that has those beliefs, can we release them now, please? There we go. You're welcome, Ingrid. Okay. That's looking a lot better. Successful me is saying, hi, Sky. Can I ask for another reading about my freelancing career? Thank you. So they're immediately showing me like you need to socialize. They're showing me that it's almost like you're trying to work so hard that you're forgetting that so many opportunities come from networking. So going out, being social, um, going to talks and business groups and drinks, this is an essential part of building your business. It's an essential part of building your business. Um, so they're really showing me like you need to switch your inner circle. You need to put yourself in the room with where your best clients are. So go to conferences and but like especially now that everything is open again, go and meet people, go and spend time with other people who are not doing what you're doing, but who are looking for the services that you're offering, right? For example, if you go to a women's entrepreneur circle, there'll be lots of women who are looking for freelancer services. And that connection, that really knowing you, that's a big deal. So give yourself a chance to put yourself in the room with other successful people. Okay, Aurora saying, can I have reading advice from my angels today? Angels, Aurora. So the message I'm getting for you is joy. You need to play. There's a real energy of get outside, move your body, turn on the music loud. They're actually showing me like dancing in the kitchen and potentially baking, but there's a real energy of like play. Like you need to relax, you need to play, you need to have some fun. Everything is too serious right now. Okay, Aqua Earth is saying, Skylar, sorry, I was also wondering if you have any help on how I can meditate if I suffer from severe anxiety and panic attacks and I can't seem to calm my brain or not think. Okay, so that question shows me that you really like don't understand what meditation is. So meditation is not about not thinking. Meditation is about learning to regulate your nervous system and learning to connect with yourself. Okay, so anxiety, depression, panic, all of those come from disconnection from self and disconnection from God. That's the basics of Course in Miracles. You think you have many problems, but really you only have one, a disconnection from God. Okay, disconnection from your divine light, whatever name you want to give it. Okay, so when you meditate, what you're doing, and the reason why for temporarily the panic attacks might get worse, the anxiety might get worse, the depression might get worse, is because you're no longer running from your fears. You're now facing your fears. So, what tends to happen when you make yourself be still with the anxiety or be still with the depression or be still with the grief is that you feel, right? You become present with your feelings. And that's important. There's nothing bad about anxiety. There's nothing bad about depression. There's nothing bad about grief. There's nothing bad about anger. The problem comes when we repress them, because then it's like you're holding, every time you repress an emotion, like you're holding down a balloon. I don't want to be anxious. I'm going to take a pill. I don't want to be anxious. I'm going to get really busy and clean the whole house. I don't want to be anxious. I'm going to do this. And what happens is every time you're like, I don't want to be anxious, it's another balloon, another balloon, another balloon that you're trying to hold underwater. And that's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of trauma. Okay. Until it just goes boom, and that's a panic attack. It goes boom, and then that's a depressive episode. It goes boom, and that's an angry outburst, because you cannot live without feeling your feelings. And feelings communicate something important to you. So anxiety normally means that you have not created the future that is making you happy, that is making you feel safe, that is making you feel secure. Okay. So when you're sitting in meditation, you're going to be shown all the places where you're blocking God's light from entering. And what you're being asked to do when you see the things that make you anxious is go, God, take this, God, take this, God, take this, God, take this. You're not being asked to fix it yourself. You're not being asked to try and solve it in meditation. You're not being asked to not think. You're simply being asked to continually hand your pain over to God and going, here, it hurts too much. I can't fix it. It hurts too much. I can't fix it. And after 2 or 3 minutes, sometimes 5, sometimes 10 minutes, sometimes some serious sobbing, you'll feel your nervous system start to regulate. Okay. Why? Because all of that trauma that you were trying to process and solve with your mind and your body is now being processed and solved by your soul and by God. So you've shifted all that energy that was blocking up your chakras, and you've put it into the energy system, which is the soul star, or your connection with a higher power that is strong enough to clear it and move it. And in that peace, right, even if it's temporary, even if it's only like 3 or 4 minutes to begin with, it gets longer and longer and longer because meditation scientifically proven to be cumulative, which means its power increases over time. Just like exercise, its power increases over time. Okay. So when we're healing and when we're start to meditate, all that stuff comes up to be shifted from your lower into your higher dimensions, or from your higher dimensions deep into the heart of Mother Earth, because there's polarities, there's roots and wings. Some things need to be grounded to get cleared, some things need to go to God to get cleared, because God is above and below. Okay? So as you meditate and you keep releasing it to God and giving it to God and giving it to God, right? Once those moments of peace start to wash over you, what the next thing that will start to happen is solutions will start to come. And that solution might be as simple as drink a lot of water, go for a walk, call a friend, um, sign up for a course, write in your journal. Little solutions will start to come. And then from those little steps, right, from small seeds, big trees grow. If you start meditating every single day, you're nurturing that little seed, right? That little seed of peace. And soon that little seed of peace will become an oak tree of inner peace. And those feelings of anxiety, depression, they won't have the power to shake you, right? Why won't they have the power to shake you? Because the problems that you thought were going to destroy you will have been resolved by a higher power in a better way. But what happens when you meditate is that you are being called to move in a different way, right? Meditation is the act of being still and allowing a higher power to move for you. It's allowing God to fight your battles for you. It's allowing the universe to move instead of you trying to make everything work. It's surrendering control to a bigger power instead of you trying to be the bigger power. Okay. Laura's saying, hi, can I have an angel card for this week? Yep, let's see what comes up. Drinking from the emerald fountain. The divine feminine is encouraging of the awakening and empowerment of all living beings. When a sincere seeker is trying to find the way through, there is much help sent. It makes sense to be open to receiving it, indeed to step forward and drink from the emerald fountain, which is the unconditional loving heart of the divine. Allow yourself to be nourished by the power and the love of the divine mother flowing to you now. There is nothing to be gained by making life more difficult than it needs to be, other than unnecessary stress or perhaps the learning that it isn't as much fun this way. At this time, you're going through a time of important spiritual growth. Your higher self has set a spiritual schedule and is planning on being at a certain destination in time and space to set events in motion, to benefit from synchronicities and to be able to live out its divine purpose in the physical world too. The soul is very resourceful and is calling for divine help in getting to its destination on time. When you allow yourself to be helped, great reserves of support become available to you. Your soul is strengthened and nourished by the loving heart of the Divine Mother. As it's filled with love from the Emerald Fountain, it can flow through you and you feel happier, more balanced, content, and peaceful. The more you allow yourself to be assisted, the more you will feel attached and trusting. You will find fewer problems actually arise for you, and when they do, you might be surprised at just how swiftly they're resolved, sometimes with only a small amount of effort on your part. So we're back to this idea of allowing God to fight your battles, allowing God to solve your problems, trusting that you have much more powerful forces in motion than you consciously understand. Okay, and allowing that to unfold in the highest and best way. Trusting that you don't know what the answer is. Trusting that it's kind of like when you're in Alcoholics Anonymous and you get that your best thinking got you here. Your best thinking is what got you addicted. Your best thinking is what got you sick. Your best thinking is what got you into a toxic relationship. And exactly because you don't have anything else, you don't have another blueprint, you don't have anything to fall back on, that's why most people cling to what they know. Just like a baby will cling to a mother or father, even if that parent is terribly abusive, right? We will cling to the most toxic beliefs and the most toxic paradigms, even in our own head, because we're like, well, I don't know. And it's like, well, is that this isn't working. Okay, so the next stage is to allow something bigger to come in and do it for you. So Aqua saying, how to let go of control. I've been trying my whole life, but I keep finding myself right back in the same mindset, controlling without thinking about it. I want to let go. I'm tired and I'm not at peace. My love, this is where therapy comes in. This is where healing sessions come in. This is where, I kid you not, I've done so much healing work and I still do healing work on a regular basis. I spent 3 hours in a healing session last Saturday working through my own enoughness wound. You know, this the reason you can't let go of control is because you have parts of you that were wounded or traumatized in this life or other lifetimes that believe that taking control is the way to survive, right? And it's not a conscious decision. Nobody wakes up one morning and thinks we're going to control everything. But the reality is that your unconscious mind is more powerful than your conscious mind, and your feelings are more powerful than your thoughts. So this is why I teach medical intuitive technique. This is why I taught theta healing for so long. This is why I studied hypnosis and counseling, because everybody knows that feeling of knowing they should eat better, sleep better, take better care of themselves, and be more visible, and then the inability to follow through because their emotional um, health isn't in alignment with their mental health. Mentally, they have the knowledge, they have the understanding, they know what to do, but emotionally, they don't feel worthy, they don't feel good enough. They feel exhausted or they feel angry, and the emotion wins. So if the emotion is fear and the thought is love, emotions trump love every single time. Emotions are not rational. Thoughts are rational. Emotions are not. They're created by the cycling of images in your unconscious mind. And your unconscious mind is way faster than the conscious mind, for better or for worse. Okay. So sometimes you do need to be like, okay, I can't do this on my own. I'm going to book to work with someone. I'm going to sign myself up for the medical intuitive. I'm going to book myself in for the hypnosis sessions. And I'm going to dedicate 3 or 4 months of my life to working through this, right? The issue with control, or the issue with enoughness, or the issue with worthiness, or the issue with authenticity, or the issue with lovability, or the issue with um, neglect, or the issue what the issue with self-care, whatever it is that's tearing your life apart, that has got the reason you're so focused on control is because your internal emotional world is out of control, right? And I deal with this a lot in medical intuitive, because in medical intuitive the disease is out of control, right? Your client's disease is out of control, and or your disease is out of control because your emotions have gotten out of control. And until you take control of your inner world, of your inner kingdom, the body will not reflect anything other than the state of the mind, right? So when it comes to anxiety or depression, it's the exact same game. The issue is not the anxiety or the depression. The issue is that inside you feel out of control. Your life feels out of control. Your feelings feel out of control. And that is what manifests as the anxiety, the depression, the deep belief that you are powerless, the deep belief that you do not have control, right? And that belief is actually true. It's true that we have no control, but you do have a part in within you, a higher aspect to you that does have complete control over everything to the universe. And when that's in the driver's seat instead of a hurt inner child or a hurt wounded part, um, which can manifest as anything. So one of the things that we go into very at the very beginning of Medical Intuitive Mastermind is archetypes, and we do deep archetypal healing. And we do that because so many healers are stuck in the wounded healer archetype. Okay. And that means that they believe on an unconscious level, sometimes on a soul level, that they have to have an illness before they can heal it. So they have to have anxiety before they can heal other people with anxiety. They have to have the illness on some level before they're worthy of being a medical intuitive or being a healer. Because then they know, because I did it, I can do it for others, right? And it feel that authenticity is activated, that enoughness is activated through their own wound, right? Um, the issue is where it gets stuck, and then you're healing others from a place of brokenness and woundedness, and it's painful, right? Or where you're refusing to acknowledge your divine life purpose and you keep hiding from it, so the wound never starts to resolve or heal or grow and never becomes whole. And that comes from really not understanding, right? Really not understanding what the real issue is. Remember, we think we have many problems, but really we only have one: a disconnection from God. A disconnection from God always starts with a disconnection from yourself. If you could solve this problem alone, A, God wouldn't get any glory for it, and B, you would have solved it by now. So, a huge part of the healing journey is acknowledging what you're capable of on your own and what you need a higher power to allow you that bridge to do. I'm going to do a quick energy break. Oh, you're welcome, Adriana. Tony saying, hi, Sky. I'd love a reading on my business, please. Will it start to get better again soon? Okay, so the energy is around being left alone. Like what I'm feeling even when I tune into is that there's a big wall up around you. And I think some people have been annoying you or winding you up or stressing you out, because what I'm hearing when I tune into is just leave me alone. And it's coming back from those childhood traumas where your parents were like, well, if you don't stop crying, then we're going to leave you alone in the car, or we're going to go home without you, or we're just going to leave you here and go and do their own thing. And they don't mean it, but they're trying to get the child to go with them. Otherwise, they're going to be left alone. So let's just take a minute and send so much unconditional love to that little child that is just like, well, being alone is better than being with you guys. Okay. Just begin where you are, darling. We're saying I just sitting still. Just sit still. Set a notice on your alarm, 15 minutes, and just sit down. It's I love the Mel Robbins thing, is that you start where you are, right? If you're in a place where it's hard for you to just sit still for 15 minutes and meditate, set the alarm on your phone and just sit still for 15 minutes. Okay? Get into a habit. You're trying to jump from I don't meditate at all and have never meditated to I've got inner peace and I'm still. It's kind of like saying, well, I'm not going to the gym unless I can see the results immediately. That's not how it works. You got to show up and get on that treadmill every day, and then you will see the results. You can't say I'll get on the treadmill if you can prove to me that exercise works. Meditation and exercise are like that. You show up, you do your thing, and they work. Okay. So if it's hard to sit down 15 minutes, sit down 15 minutes. Do it every day, every single day, whether you want to or not. When you don't want to, just do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sit your butt down and stay there. Don't move. Just breathe. Just keep doing it, and it will start to resolve. Thank you, Sky. That healing went deep. If I may ask another question, does God recommend me to take a remote job whilst moving forward with my business, or shall I proceed without it? I think the answer, like when I'm tuning in, is angels are saying that you asked for a job because you're scared the healing business isn't going to work. It's not going to be able to provide for you, and there's no shame. They're saying in allowing yourself to receive in multiple ways. So this is something you prayed for, and it's something that came because you still don't feel you don't trust yourself enough. um there comes a stage where you do trust yourself enough that and it's crazy. I really remember that. I remember being at that stage where I didn't believe I could support myself from my healing business. I was content for it to be a hobby. And now I sometimes have to change the way that happens, whether it's through a course or whether it's through one-to-one sessions or whether it's through a membership. But there's no doubt within me that my divine life purpose can support me in every single way, right? Because I've lived it for so long. So it's okay if you need that transition job. But just be aware that the business should come before the job. Okay. So if it gets to the point where the job is taking over, then you have a problem. Okay. Demi's is saying, hi Sky, I would love some help, please. I emigrated 5 months ago. I'm having my second Saturn return and I don't know if I should stay here or go back. What is my highest good? It's been such a tough year. Stay and move forward. Don't go back. I'm really getting a strong don't go back. The angels are like giant blue arrows. Stay. Stay. Connie saying, hi Sky, I've been diagnosed with an overactive bladder which causes cramps and burning urine. What energy am I holding in my bladder and can I get a healing please? Connie, get another doctor. Like I'm seeing Archangel Raphael so big right now, like it's insane. Get another doctor. This isn't an incorrect diagnosis. You don't have an overactive bladder. I think you have an undiagnosed or improperly treated infection, but this is inflammation. This is not and you do not have an overactive bladder. I don't know how they're allowed to give women these diagnoses anymore that basically read there's nothing wrong with you except that you're hysterical. Um, there's something wrong. Please go and see a proper urologist as quickly as possible. Okay, my love? I'm not a doctor. I'm not allowed to diagnose. But please, please, please get a doctor that actually is interested in you being healthy. Because this is not normal. There's absolutely nothing normal about burning and cramping and in your urine. Your bladder is not overactive. You need to get proper help. Aqua saying, yes, you're right. And I'm so emotional now that I've been through this big change 5 years ago. Okay, Teresa's saying, hi, my love. Do the angels have any guidance or message for me? Today is my daughter's 33rd birthday, and I feel they have something to share with me. Okay, Teresa, let's see. Yeah, Aqua, I think you're ready for the course too. I think you're ready to heal. I think you're ready to heal. Oh, Orchid, Priestess of Destiny. Card number 21. Okay, the Orchid Priestess of your highest spiritual destiny to call on you now, beloved. She calls you to your purpose, path, and soul passion. They say 33 is the Jesus year, which is like the activation of the deepest divine gifts. There's a message that came through as I was reading that says that your daughter's going to have some sort of spiritual awakening this year, or she's already had, or is in the process of having some sort of spiritual awakening. You're being called to rise again and again, to live up to your potential with all its uniqueness and beauty. She will call you always with her sweet flute playing deep in your heart, blossoms of orchid and chrysanthemum falling from her feet, stirring your heart to quest for your truest soul passion. You may have felt different to those around you at different times in your life. This is meant to be, beloved. You cannot be a pioneer of different consciousness on this planet if you feel completely comfortable in the consciousness that already exists around you. Do you know that this was chosen on purpose so that you could be on purpose? Your soul chose to be of service by not fitting in, so that it would remember through things not feeling right that it was meant to help correct and heal the consciousness on our planet, starting with the self. Once the self was able to correct and align the consciousness within so that it matched the love and peace that exists deep within its heart, it would be easier to help others do the same, even if just by inspiration. This is where the Orchid Priestess of Destiny, beloved Kuan Yin, and her devotion to your highest spiritual attainment calls you forward now. Yes, you, beloved, your destiny is calling you. This means it's time to unplug from the mass consciousness at a deeper level than ever before, to really let go of the beliefs and thought forms that do not serve your highest destiny, no matter how unchangeable they seem to be at first. It's time to revise anything inside of you that would hold you back from owning your spiritual power and move ahead in your destiny. It's your own destiny that calls you forward to do this, beloved. Do not fear. It's just waiting to meet you in all your spiritual beauty and strength. Embrace the changes, and soon you'll enjoy the spiritual reunion at the higher turn of the spiral in your own passionate life and spiritual purpose. The flute and blossoms of the divine priestess help you in this process now. So the message is really you are being called into your destiny and that you are ready. Okay. And this is a big one because a lot of the times the belief that we're not ready is a really deep one. It's so deep that it's actually in Course in Miracles. So in Course in Miracles, it says readiness is the biggest prerequisite of miracles. And one of the reasons that I've helped so many people, whether it's, people, young children or elderly people, or become a spiritual teacher at such a young age, is exactly because I didn't wait till I felt ready, right? I understood something. I think it was a soul lesson, and I'm going to share it with you, that a lot of people, even spiritual teachers, don't understand, which is your emotions are not God. Your feelings are not always your divine guidance. Feelings, especially negative ones, are also often, especially this feeling of I'm not ready, a reflection of our not enoughness wounds, of our unworthiness wounds, of our imposter wounds, and not a reflection of your true potential, of your true gifts, or of your divine life purpose. Um, Everybody that you speak to, whether it's, gurus or spiritual teachers or coaches, will tell you the same thing. None of them felt ready when they started. They all did it shaking in their boots. Um, and it doesn't matter whether it's speaking on, being visible on your social media channels for the first time, or whether it's making an investment in your course, or whether it's increasing your spiritual education, or whether it's deciding that you're going to come out of the spiritual closet, or whether it's deciding you're going to tell your family and friends about who you really are authentically. You will never feel ready for the next stage in your evolution, because that you're not ready for it. You become ready by stepping into it and filling up that space, right? Like, I didn't feel ready to hire an assistant, but when I did, everything went better. I didn't feel ready to get married, but when I got married, everything went well. I never ever felt ready to be a mother, but the moment that I stepped into it, it transformed me on levels that I couldn't possibly imagine. If you walk around thinking that you're ready for everything, it's because you lack self-awareness. It's because you don't understand the challenges that you'll face, and the unknowns that you're going to have to tackle. It's like your vulnerability's been shut off. But readiness is the capacity to go, okay, if God is showing me that this is the next step, right? Then I'm going to trust it, even if I don't know when, I don't know how, I don't know where. And it works out over and over and over again. So for me, the biggest moments in my destiny were being told to move from Scotland to London. I was a country girl. I didn't want to live in London. I loved my sheep and my cows and living next to the ocean, and a really quiet life. I had anxiety attacks ordering food in a restaurant. I didn't want to move to a big city and talk to hundreds of people and become a spiritual teacher, right? In my brain, it was like, well, I can do my little angel readings and I can write a book. And that's where it stopped, right? It was God that was like, hey, your destiny is to be a spiritual healer and a spiritual teacher, and you can't do that in a shoebox in Scotland somewhere. Okay. It's sometimes you have to do things that you're not comfortable with. And to follow that guidance required me finishing my law degree and leaving, right? I had a job and everything. I had to leave everything and start from nothing, and in a speciality like spiritual healing, which I had no qualifications in, right? I literally had to rely on my divine gifts. Um, I had to use business skills that I also didn't have. So there was so much learning. There was so much unknown. There was so much vulnerability. But that's where the greatness came from. That's where the strength came from, was overcoming one obstacle at a time, one after the other, on the path to living my divine life purpose. It's exactly the same with getting married, with um, having children, with building, medical intuitive. Every single one of these has required so much stretching and so much growing and so much vulnerability, right? And it's the exact thing that's asked of you at every level. The way that the fear mind plays it is it goes, well, it's harder for me than everybody else. Oh no, people don't understand what it's like not to feel ready. Oh, but I'm not as good as them, and that's why they can do it and I can't do it. And the truth is that you will never get to the place that you watch someone else get to without putting in the work. It's kind of like the grass is always greener, but the grass isn't actually greener. It's just that that person's watering their lawn, right? The people don't get good just by showing up once in a while. When you see someone mastering their spiritual gift, it's because they've put time, energy, and practice into it. When you see somebody healing themselves without having to try very hard, it's because they understand either surrender and divine power, or they've worked to be able to achieve that skill. And it's important to acknowledge your work as part of co-creating your divine life purpose, but also to acknowledge that your feelings and your finances are not the label or the accuracy of your readiness. Your divine guidance is. If your divine guidance says you're ready, then God will find a way, God will make a way. If you are feeling not ready, that is often just a reflection of your trauma and not a reflection of your true potential or your true capacity to grow. Okay, Gwen is saying, "Hi, Sky. I recently met someone and I felt a strong connection. Can you tell me the reason for this? The timing seems off." Yeah, this is a karmic connection, and this is because you both have the same inner child wounds. So people come in for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, and this is because you still have a massive worthiness wound going on. And it's kind of like you've been praying, you've been asking to meet the person, and God is saying, okay, I want to come in, I want to give you what you're asking me for, but I need access to this wound. I need you to call me into your heart so that we can really clear this. It's kind of like when people beg me to give them their soulmate and then they go on a date and they come back and they go, he was too good for me. He treated me too well. I can't be with somebody that treats me that nicely. And you're like, okay, kindness is available to you. Love is available to you. We have to work on your worthiness, right? So when you go on a date with somebody and there's chemistry, but the timing is off, with energy's off, it's because God is saying to you, trust that. And you will get tested. There'll be a few people along the way that you will have to just discard. And it is because God is just checking that your standards have really lifted, but that also that you are, it's kind of like you were calling all the soulmates in and they're all coming in, but not all of them are your one. So every time you meet a soulmate that's not the one and you say, no, thank you, you get one step closer to the one. Okay. But you're allowed, and it's important that you have high standards. Teresa's saying, thank you. I'm so ready for me to meet me, as I said. Yeah, it's so strange how who we think we are and who we actually are two very different things. And there are many places in life, and this is why one of the reasons why I include archetypes in medical intuitive, but archetypes are important in spirituality in a huge way. So my maiden archetype, which is like that girl, 21, 22, 23, 25, a single, powerful boss babe energy, is very different to my matriarch mother energy. And when I had my son, the two had to meet, and my maiden had to follow away and my matriarch energy had to evolve. And I had to meet who I was as a mother. I had to meet who I was, as a parent, and as a co-parent as well. And all of these things are very important um, initiations into our divinity. Hi, Beatrix. Yes, I can read your messages. You're welcome, Gwen. Okay, I'm going to stop here for today. I love you all very much. I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place, and I will see some of you on the discovery calls. I've got another 2 or 3 in today. I love you all so much. Let's do our closing prayer. O Great Spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives, and we thank you for these good, good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended and our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen, Namaste.